Welcome back, Mama, to the Art of Childhood podcast. I am super excited for this episode. I have a bit of a special announcement in here, which I can't wait to share with you because I've been working very, very hard on something behind the scenes just for you. Maybe you've heard whispers of it. But this episode is all about phone photography. You may be used to me speaking about big girl cameras, DSLR, and mirrorless cameras, and I have heard your cries and your pleas to find out a little bit more about how to photograph your kids with the camera you already have in your pocket. Let's go.
Mamastalgia.
Hello and welcome to the Art of Childhood podcast. If you're a sentimental mum trying to give your kids a joy-filled childhood, then you've found yourself in the right place. This is a space for memory collectors, photography hobbyists, and pros alike, and mums just trying to do their best. Here we will be talking about all things motherhood, as well as learning to create artful photos of our kids with our big girl cameras. So go ahead, get cozy, and let's dive in. Phone photography is a controversial topic in the world of photographers these days. And I think it's because we get a little bit too caught up on the type of gear that we like to use. Now, this is why particularly I love teaching women photography, is we don't seem to be as concerned about tech and all the fancy, fandangly, weird little accessories that come with cameras. We're more interested in the outcome of the photo, which is capturing our kids and creating memories with them and bottling up this thing called childhood. So with that spirit in mind, I've been asked a lot about what I think about phone photography. Does it still count as photography? Because if photography was just snapping a photo, then pretty much everyone on the planet would be a photographer. However, I think there's a little bit more intention and nuance involved in it than that. It's kind of like somewhere along the spectrum of you've snapped a photo and you have intention and you're an artist and you're doing it every day. I think it's kind of somewhere in that space is what a photographer is. But if you're like me and you've ever felt like you have piles and piles of photos sitting on your phone that just feel forgettable, then this episode is for you, because I think we can approach our phone photos with a little bit more intention. If you're out there and you feel like you take so many photos on your phone and they just don't really capture that feeling that you want them to, they don't look like the kind of photo that you'd want to print in a photo book or look back on for years and years to come. Maybe you just want to get creative and fill your cup, but you're not ready to commit to a big girl camera, which costs you thousands of dollars. Then the good news is you do have a very, very powerful camera already in your pocket. And I like to say that actually the most powerful camera is a camera that you have with you. So like if I'm on holidays and, I'm on a boat or something, experiencing beautiful memories with my kids, sometimes it can actually hold me back to have this big girl camera with me at all times. Sometimes it can create a bit of a barrier or like a perception with the kids. And I love taking photos. I love it. But I don't think it's healthy to have your camera in your hand 24/7. But, we do have our iPhones in our hands a lot of the time because obviously it serves more of a function than just snapping photos. It's our map, it's our wallet, it's everything. And whilst I am an advocate for putting it down as much as you possibly can, I think it's just a fact of life at the moment that this thing is with us all the time. And with a few tweaks, you can really apply the artistic lens that you would on a big girl camera to the photos that you snap every day of your kids. Whilst I won't jump into a lot of them in this episode, just know that a lot of what we have talked about in the other episodes about like storytelling, all that kind of thing is definitely applicable to your phone as well. And I don't like that phone photography can have a bit of a reputation behind it because, to be honest, I've seen some phone photos that is impossible to distinguish whether it is a phone or whether it's actually been taken on a big girl camera. So I think it's more about techniques that you apply. So some of the things that really do take a photo that you've snapped on your phone from just being kind of not really sure what I've captured here, it's just a cute memory, is finding really beautiful light which is soft on the skin, light which is flattering. Maybe if you're looking for a more dramatic look in your photo, harsher light, and just using light in a way almost like a paintbrush to create photos that you really love and that hold a lot more artistic intention. This is one of the principles from photography that you can apply to your phone. Another one is capturing a moment in time. And what that means to you will be different to what it means to the next person. And that's really the beauty of art is in the eye of the beholder. And as long as it really means something to you, generally, if you show it to someone else, that it will either take on a meaning to them or they'll be interpreting your meaning as well. And that's what art is all about. It's about kind of putting a message out, interpreting a message, viewing it through your own experience and your lens in life. I can think of specific moments where people have shown me photos of their kids when I was working in an office. And whilst I'm like, oh, cute kid, the photo itself doesn't really make me feel inspired to anything greater. I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. So cute to see your kid enjoying life. And then, the person will kind of flip through all the millions of photos that they have of their kid. And you're like, awesome. But for them, that photo means a lot to them, but it's not like necessarily an artistic photo that makes other people be like, wow, that's a great photo. And noticing a moment is one of those things, and light as well, that can take a photo from, oh, cool photo, to like, wow, that is a beautiful photo. And of course, we all think our own kids are beautiful. It's funny because I guess the photography that I do as a professional photographer, I do have people going and looking at photos of other people's kids that I've captured and going, wow, that is a beautiful photo. Or even like, wow, that photo, the way you've captured it, that makes me feel like maybe it's a close-up detail shot of some baby fingers, little chunky baby fingers, delicious, delicious little baby fingers. And that will make someone be like, wow, that makes me feel something. That makes me feel clucky, or that makes me remember back to when my own kids were super cute, and holds them in that moment. I think that's what the power of a photo can really do, is it crosses borders, a photo that just meant something to you because, oh, it's your kid, it's cute, whatever, into something really powerful and something more. And look, at the end of the day, I want to preface, we're not here to impress other people, unless you are. If you are, that's cool, knock yourself out. But to me, that's what kind of my understanding of what art can do, and that artistic and artful intention behind a photograph has the chance to do. Another principle that you can apply to your phone photography is composition, which is what fills the frame of your photo, and just being mindful about what you do include in a phone photo. Instead of just like grabbing it out, snapping your photo, it's like, okay, what's kind of the angle here? How am I going to hold the camera? How am I going to position the camera? Where am I going to stand? Where am I going to stand in relation to my child? That kind of thing is also what can elevate a photo quite dramatically and quite quickly, as well as preserving a feeling. So obviously we're here to capture. We're here to kind of bottle up the magic and make it last forever, right? We're to capture our favorite memories, our favorite moments, the things that really set us alight as mums, the things that make us sit in our beds at night time and scroll and cry looking at these photos. I know that's me. If you're listening to this, that might be you as well, if you're a nostalgic mum like myself. And that's what we're here, right? Mamastalgia. We're nostalgic mamas who are already kind of feeling the moments slipping through our fingers, whilst I try not to think about that too much because I will sit and just cry. That's what we're feeling collectively, I think, as mums in the present day, is just that presence, bottling that feeling. And, a photo holds so much for us. If you think you can't capture that using a phone, then I think you're kind of crazy. The photography world can get a little bit sick of people trying to be all hoity-toity and, oh, this is the right way to do it. The thing is, there are rules. There are rules in photography. But the other thing is, the rules are made to be broken. And that's where actually creativity comes into play, is how are you going to bend the rules? How are you going to learn the rules and then bend them? This is kind of what brings me to, I guess, a little special announcement, which I have been working on for quite a while and dreaming up. And it's come, I guess, a little bit from, I have a course called Don't Say Cheese, which is a beginner photography course for mums who have their big fancy cameras, right? So they've got these big fancy cameras which have either been sitting and collecting dust, or maybe they aspire to become a professional photographer one day, but they just want to capture their children. Maybe they want to learn photography on their kids, and then apply it later on somewhere else. Or maybe photographing your kids is kind of the end goal you want to reach, and you want to do that beautifully. But there has been a whole subset of mums who are like, I don't have a big fancy camera. Quite frankly, I feel intimidated by trying to find enough time or budget to learn photography at the level of the Don't Say Cheese course. And this is what has brought me to wanting to create a really awesome course, a mini course for you guys on phone photography. I have created what is called the SNAP method. It is a framework for you to be able to capture your kids in a beautiful way, in that artful, intentional way, like I've been talking about, without the need of a big fancy camera. And whilst the primary focus of what I'll be doing here, a lot of the time I'll be talking about camera settings and things like that, I do want you to feel like you have a place in the Mamastalgia community, even if you only have your phone. Because let's be honest, our phones are incredibly powerful, more so than they ever have been in history before. Like I said, it's not about the gear. It's never been about the gear. And I just want to open things up a little bit more to include you. I have a lot of people who've told me they listen to this podcast. They're like, I probably won't get a big fancy camera. I just know myself. It's not a pathway I want to go down. And I'm like, cool. I still want to be able to meet you where you're at. All that to say, I am super excited to be introducing the Snap phone photography course for mamas. It is now available and I am really excited. I'm really excited just to open the doors a little bit more and create a bit of a lower barrier to entry. Yes, even reduce a little bit of the stigma around being a photographer. I've made this course so affordable, like ridiculously affordable. I've put so much work into it, but it's really my gift to everyday mums out there who want to remember this beautiful time forever and ever. It has a whole bunch of handy little tips and tricks, but really that SNAP method is what's going to bring it all together for you. Because, of course, you can go and you can ask Google, about phone photography tips or whatever. But our time is so precious as mums. I just want to serve it up to you on a silver platter and go, here, look, this is really easy. Anybody can do this, and you can create photos of your kids that are going to be beautiful. You're going to love forever and treasure them until the end of your days. I think you're doing them a favor as well. You're doing yourself a favor, and this course is going to change the way that you photograph your kids and their childhood. You're going to look at their childhood through such a different lens. And as I've said before, the beautiful thing about photography is it actually helps you to see the world and childhood and your role in creating a beautiful childhood and facilitating that. It helps you see it in a different way. So I really hope you will join me in the Snap phone photography course. Of course, you can get a little discount. I have a little discount for you down in the description. I'm so excited for you to join me on this journey, and also other mums who are like-minded, and join the little community, join the forum, and you'll be able to bounce ideas off each other. You'll be able to get feedback from other mums taking the course as well. I've made it 1 hour. It is approximately 1 hour of your time to dedicate to this course in totality, as opposed to the hours that is in our 6-week self-paced Don't Say Cheese course. So anyway, there you have it. That's my big news. I'm so excited. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Art of Childhood podcast. All the handy links mentioned in this episode are in the show notes. I would love it if you would leave an honest review on your chosen podcasting platform. And as my son says when I'm getting into a particularly delicious snack, sharing is caring. So make sure you send this episode to a friend who may enjoy it. Go on and make some beautiful memories with your family today, and I'll catch you next time.